I don't know which political science curriculum can appropriately capture all of these political contestations as we see them play out if they don't change their curriculum. But, you know, staying a little bit more in the Senate and all of those parties, yes, the dominant ones, the APC, the PDP, but then does that mean that the other parties, APGA, people also defected to APGA, those parties are not, and then the ADC, then you have 2 seats that are vacant at the moment. But those parties are not insignificant, are they?
No, they are not. It's just that conversations revolve around major players. It's a game of football, and yet everybody is looking at Okocha or Kano. There are 10 other players. It's as simple as that. The other thing is the speaker from Abuja observed that, you know, in these clients, people don't queue behind their opponents. Historically and factually, the moment Ekweme lost the primaries, what did he do? He declared loyalty to the party. A delegation came from the other party. I think it was led then by Chief Olufalaye to appeal to him. He said, I'm a party man. My party convened primaries to choose a candidate, not to choose Ekweme. They've gotten a candidate and it's my duty. Then he also referred to the agreement in the APC. Yes, if you recall, Honorable Tambuwal, who then was speaker, was one of those being touted. He was persuaded not to. He joined the APC. You know, so there's evidence of loyalty and proper behavior. And he drove that party. He became a governor. Imagine that you went through all of that. You can today not look your people in the face and say, oh, this is what I brought home to you. So when you speak of defections, when you speak of why people do things, look through it. Then in the matter of the National Assembly, defection, has it had any effect? And I go back to the example we're dealing with. Tambuwal defected to PDP. Why would I come fresh to channels and you make me MD? By consensus. These are the things to consider. So when they say people defect, some of them is actually proof by what happens subsequently of their caliber, of the capacity they brought to bear.
But that also, too, because as it was reported today, we understand Wamako is saying that no,
he's gearing for war.
It's going to be tough because he says, look, the APC controls Sokoto State, so Tambuwal, don't be fooled about that.
Why should that worry anybody? The field of play is there, the referee is with a whistle. You shouldn't be trebling in the wings. If you say you're going to score, move into the pitch, Tambuwal moves into the pitch, we stay on the side and watch.
If you were to advise the PDP concerning the latest people who have just defected to the party, in terms of getting a consensus candidate, what would you say to them?
I would say, check first of all the performance, the reputation of these individuals as people who can build consensus. Are they people who are likely to be emperors? Do they have a tradition of consensus? Do they have a tradition of relating with people across wider political spectrum within the time they spent in our polity? That's one. 2, can they be a good face to your party as signs of leadership? Then finally, do you have a consensus that when we're in government, this is what our party will do? So that you don't face what has clearly grounded the APC today.
You know, at the moment, because nobody really knows how it's going to play out eventually, because look, forget politicians, they're incurable optimists. They'll tell you, no, we will do this. The other party will tell you the same thing. But at the moment, it appears as though the APC has an advantage because, yes, they've got the president, they're the ruling party, they've got all those machinery in place. They may not necessarily have to change who their candidate is. But on the other hand, the coalition is still trying to sort themselves out. So naturally, that looks as if they have that advantage. Just as Gimba was asking, do you think that at the end of the day, this won't count for something?
Not very likely, but things are fluid, like you said. For one, not all who voted for APC in 2015 will vote because many of the expectations are shattered, both in terms of corruption, promises about the value of the naira.
And many who didn't vote will vote?
Oh, yeah, not so many. Because you came on with, this is what I'm going to offer you, and you scored 30%. Many of those who recommended you will be a little embarrassed. That's one. 2, they are also not resolving the issues on the table at the moment. 3, the electoral process may present more challenges than we saw in 2015. 4, the disgraceful performance in Ekiti, and I'm talking in terms of money.
For the PDP?
You know who spent more? Okay, rumor mongering. The alleged use of money.
No, because the APC won, I mean.
That's what I'm saying. are also alleged to have used a lot of money to achieve that. To do it at a national level will present greater logistic complications. Now, what am I saying with all of this? The APC is standing now at a nexus, at a junction between absolute certainty of collapse or the possibility of self-reinvention that might make it reach an average performance. That's my reading of it.
But are you discounting what the views out there? Because number one, there are those who believe now, having seen all of those cases that has gone in court, how they think that the PDP is corrupt. They had corrupt elements in the past as a result of those who have been convicted. How they have apologized to Nigerians for what they describe as their past mistakes. How it's being said out there that they may likely change their name so that they'll be accepted on the part of Nigerians. All of those are issues out there.
There are serious issues, and I'm not holding brief. Let the party sort itself out. But there are also other issues. Namely, that you have many more communities that are now permanently raided by marauders. The program started with a meeting on security. And I asked as I was watching it, that's this morning's program, what was it that was said either by the Interior Minister or any other person who spoke that could possibly translate into an implementable template? First, we had an enumeration of the challenges. We knew all of that without it being enumerated. And then the most brilliant suggestion that came out in the course of the exchange is that it would be good to take inventory of arms that are coming into the country and have a pool. What does that mean? I smuggle in arms from the Lake Chad Basin. Another person does it from Benin. Another does from Cameroon. Then we come to you as government and tender it to take inventory before we go to use it for armed robbery or for killing herdsmen or farmers. It's, with all due respect, it's delusional.
Well, as it is, we
Just a quick one. Just a quick question.
Yeah.
What political party are you part of?
Political party? If I was part of a political party, I would have gone for elections. The first, I think it was Dr. Kweme, then I was SA to Joma Doko 2002. It was an official letter inviting me for a conversation. I think they wanted me to go to Senate or something like that. No. I teach. I consult. I expand knowledge. I like to see people learn new things and get involved. That can be done by supporting people who are probably in office. But the one of going to be driving about in siren, no, I need to still play with my children.
Or those intending to get into office.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
Chamberlain, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
for
governor,
why not get into lecturers? It's a beautiful thing to do as well.
Chamberlain for governor. I will run it free of charge.
Thanks. Thank you for coming on this morning, Dr. K. Chigus, leadership and governance consultant.